for the note. Thank you for the notation. Nerds and geeks, you were waiting. You're hitting us up. You're trying to figure out when shall the fantastic Knights of the Nerd Round Table make their return? Well, wait no longer. Moving forward, Saturday nights, we shall get down. Probably rounding about the 8 o'clock time. This is when it will go down. Fortunately, it's going down on a weekend when ain't nothing happening, but we still got some shit for you. Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building, joined by Ryan Twitch Master McBain. What it is, good sir?
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you, Captain. Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down.
I don't have a fancy soundboard, so hello, everybody.
There you go.
Thank you, Ryan.
Dr. Liz from the freeway, all the way from where are you again?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, Myrtle Beach in the building, and the one, the only, Mo Kelly.
And I'm coming all the way from California.
Down the way, right around the corner.
Yeah. Anthony's 2 cubicles down. I'm 2 cities down.
Straight up to 110.
That's right.
All up in that area.
That's right.
Thomas Talking Cunningham will be joining us shortly. Kicking things off, though, there is one movie, well, actually 2, worth discussing. One is total bullshit. The other stars a robot doll. First, I am super curious to know if all of the hype, all the fun, all of the draw is there for this robot that has spawned a dance across the country. TikTok is going crazy with the Megan dance. I think that alone is what's getting people into the theater.
Yes.
I haven't seen it. Mo, did you see Megan yet?
No, I don't do horror.
All right. Anthony, have you checked it out?
It's not like that.
Horror.
I have not seen it.
All right. McBain, did you finally get around to it?
Yes, it's not really horror. Look, here's the thing. I knew what I was getting when I walked in.
Okay.
I knew this movie was gonna be some bullshit. That's why I'm watching it. Okay.
All right.
I feel like I was just like, okay, I'm here to laugh. Okay. The doll is creepy as fuck. Let's just get that out there. I didn't know the movie was gonna be rated PG-13. I think you're really doing
Clearly it was PG-13.
Yeah,
wait. It's not rated R?
No, it's not.
No,
so I think you're doing.
Wow.
The premise of this is great. I think because it's creepy as hell and kind of funny because the doll is out there killing people, and like you can feel what the doll is thinking just by how she stares at people.
Wait, is it any different from Chucky in that regard?
It's not as violent.
Actually, Mo, you know what it is? It's I know that I'm the girl, but remember that TV show that used to come on where they had she had the
Small Wonder.
It's a Small Wonder. Small Wonder. It is a Small Wonder gone wrong.
Okay. All right.
And I loved Small Wonder when I was a kid. So
of course, yeah, it was great.
But Small Wonder didn't do that dance. What was her name? Vicky. Vicky did not do that dance.
This is the only reason why I watched the movie. Because of that fucking stupid dance. Because I laughed my ass off.
Did everybody bust out laughing?
What was that?
Like, when she did the dance, did the movie theater just start laughing?
I was laughing. Yes, it was. It's just like, dude, like, it's so like it's, that's just creepy. It's dark. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm apparently they're gonna do sequels, but like the fact that it's not rated R, I really think you're doing the movie a disservice. Because
it brings other people in.
Yeah, but how much can you do rated PG-13?
See, and I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side because I don't like horror. You all know I just don't even want to bother. But my kids really wanted to see it. And I was like, oh God. And my husband wasn't in town. So I was just like, I'm stuck with taking the kids to see this stupid movie. So it actually turned me around. I was like, and then also it's a Black woman who wrote it. So I was like, okay, I'm down. I'm gonna see this. And it was hilarious.
The film messed up right there because Black folks and horror don't really mix like that.
It doesn't. And it was hilarious. I laughed throughout the whole thing, and it was completely filled.
Was it meant to be
was
funny?
Like, look, it is dark humor.
It's dark humor.
I'm gonna tell you that little doll, people in the theater, that little doll has a mouth on her, and everyone was like, I am about to hit this little girl. And you hear the groans like, no, she didn't. So it is hilarious. I thought, and I'm cool with not seeing you don't see the you don't see the blood and pouring out. You don't see any of that. So, there's no jumping moments. There's no.
So it's clean. It's clean murder.
It's not a horror. I wouldn't call it
psychological.
It's more suspense.
Yeah.
Does she kill somebody and then do a dance like in Fortnite or Call of Duty?
When she got in the car, when she was like, I'm getting in this car, like it was a like I said, it's a small wonder with great age, AI, because they couldn't do that at the time.
Everything she does is funny to me, okay?
It was funny.
She's walking, everything she does is just funny. And there's nothing is funnier to me than when they want you to think something is very serious, but it's just not, because it's just a fucking doll. It's that type of humor. That hits home with me. I like that. But the fact
I have to know, how did she learn the dance? Like, what prompted this doll to do this stripper-esque dance?
She just bust out did it, and I was like, oh, when did
just no reason, this? Just like, here we go.
I don't know, Pornhub. I don't know, shit.
But she's been learning stuff. But she's like been learning stuff off the internet. Like, so she's been kind of, because the whole premise of this, first of all, I am not spending, $10,000 for a toy. So the premise of that aspect is just like, what are we doing? Nobody's buying. You're buying your kid a friend. How pathetic is that, right? So
but
people would do that though.
Can it do chores? Like if that shit can do chores, I'll have to be doing the dishes. Those
little dolls from American Me, those things are a grip. True. Trust and believe.
It is.
My little girl, one of those. That thing was like all together after the outfits and the purses and everything had to go with it. You're talking $500 just for a damn doll.
But it's not $10,000. And
no, but if I could have spent that and this little thing would have walked and talked and been able to play with my little girl, I probably would have done that if I had it to do it.
But it's not just that.
No, I ain't doing all that. No.
She feels she's supposed to gain emotion, so she's supposed to be responding to your child. So the thing that makes the thing that is just the stupidest thing in the world, and I think that they made it because the aunt has no kids, is that she put no parent control. Who makes a doll with no parent control?
Certain people.
So that it's like a person with no kids.
I'm not going to say no racist, but
I just know that in China, what was it, China, Mo, where they lost a whole truckload of dolls with no parental controls?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. They lost a whole shipment of it was Korea.
It was an Asian nation.
Yeah, I believe it was in Korea, because we were tripping. We were like, so why do they have the dolls in Korea? Like, we didn't know that they were cool again, but they had just recently allowed them to start selling the dolls, and all of a sudden they went missing for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And so she's connected to the web in the sense, so you can tell her things, and she's learning to process and respond. And so another concern was like, okay, which is fair, that if kids can get really attached to electronics. And so I thought it was realistic that the girl gets extremely attached to this doll, especially now. How do you take the doll away? I mean, this is almost like a Toy Story thing too.
I mean, back when I was a kid, and I messed up, my parents took my Super Nintendo away. So, I mean, there you go.
I don't think that we were attached to electronics.
I was.
In the same
Legend of Zelda was the shit.
In the same way that these kids are attached to like iPads and cell phones. No,
kids nowadays, that isn't actual harsh punishment. There was a kid who tried to take their parents to court over taking away their electronics. I kid you not. It was somewhere in the Midwest. They tried to take their parent to court for taking away or restricting electronics. I believe it was like based on them getting good grades again, and then they did, and the parents still said no, and the child said it was unjust and tried to take them to court. I believe they won the case too. I was like, oh, this is set a bad precedent for parenthood. But in this day and age, the number of things that parents will do for their kids, not saying that every parent is going to buy a $10,000 doll for their kid. But Liz, do you know what Cardi B did for her child for their birthday? Bought her some like $20,000, purse set. So parents that do have that kind of money do that. You know what I'm saying? I know it's crazy as that may sound, but the wealthy do crazy things.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Charger fans, get fucked. Get fucked, Charger fans.
How do you do that? How? Bro, I got my 2 points with like a minute left and they fucking win.
Lord have mercy.
Go see the movie. Go see the movie. It's an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, so it's short, in and out. In and out like a movie is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not 3+ hours and trailers like Avatar, The Lie of Water. There's no way that film has done anywhere near the dollars that it has. I call absolute bullshit just based off the fact that James Cameron is running around like a brand new hoe talking about take that streaming services, take that. It's time for us to return to theaters. No, it's not. No, it is not, because your film didn't even do good like that in the US. Good sir, you are full of shit. And I believe that this is a coordinated plan between the film studio and different theater chains to try to lie and bolster ticket sales to then, yes, of course, try to keep theaters alive. He tried to put this Babe Ruth claim out before the film release. This film has got to do $2 billion to succeed. And now he's, pretty much going to do it. And it's one of those like, nah, you can't call your shot like that. It doesn't work like that in this business.
It's much more important to let people know. We know this from the music side. And I worked at multiple record labels where we went out and purchased artists' albums from record stores and whatever to falsely inflate their numbers for SoundScan chart positions and Billboard chart positions. We did it in the music business all the time, buying product so it had the illusion of being more successful than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
This is no different. I don't believe that you could have a hit $2 billion movie and neither the United States nor China play a significant role in that. I just don't see how that's possible. This is a foreign language film in just about all these other countries.
And it's killing Avengers Endgame and everything else in India. That's your claim. That's your claim to fame. Come on, like the math isn't mathing. I'm sorry. If the only thing people can say about Avatar is that it was a good film and that it was beautiful, that does not indicate massive ticket sales, much less repeat sales, which it would need. From all accounts, this isn't a film that you see twice, even if you see it once and like it. If you see it once and like it, you don't go back.
You know what also? And this someone made a comment on Twitter, like they didn't know too many of their friend group who has seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is another good point, because even when I talk about it in random conversation or even in classroom or whatever, very few have seen it. And it's just a strange thing for it to be so successful. And I mean, out of 10 people, you may get one.
Right. And you might be the one. So I'm saying that this is very, very strange. Films that are good are never successful. They may do good. Black Adam was good, and Black Adam did fair in the box office. For a film to earn the type of, and here's the main, we're not talking months and months and months down the line. We're talking it's damn near hit this $2+ billion mark in about a 5-week window.
When hardly
there
anyone's
is that.
seen it.
how is a film hitting that type of dollars and cents with that short of a window? Films that have hit that mark, you're talking even the $1 billion mark. Black Panther, that was weeks and weeks and weeks in. It made it there.
Hey,
Okay.
Tuala, there's something else. It didn't even do well in pre-sales. It wasn't
Right.
even
That's true too.
highly anticipated. So it would be
Yes.
one thing if like where people were really waiting on this movie and couldn't wait to actually see it. There was never any metric which suggested
I'm gonna
that.
tell you also this. I'm gonna tell you what they did do is the first week that Avatar was out, they disqualified it for the Tuesday. That Tuesday $5 movie, they disqualified it.
Mm. Mm.
Which is
That's
unique.
not you getting more. That's not getting you more ticket sales.
Well, but what it did was that clearly people, it forced people to pay full price, at least for the first week.
But only in the United States, though, I assume.
Only in the United States. But I mean, I just thought that was, people were like, wait, I know some people who specifically only go to the movie on Tuesday, and they were heartbroken that they had to pay full price.
Look, the simple fact that AMC theater chain is going around buying up smaller chains that have shut down because of the fact that there are not people going to theaters. We came across a story just yesterday about an entire movie theater chain in where is it, somewhere out here in California, a
Claremont
whole
Five.
theater chain, yes, going out of business.
Oh,
Movie
yeah.
theaters, this is a humongous chain. And I remember all of the tricks, all the different things that they tried to do within the music industry to try to keep record stores alive. They tried to start having in-store concerts where you had to purchase an album to get it signed, where they started trying to do bigger box sets for CDs and every single thing they could do. And you know what happened?
Yeah.
They still shut down because of
bundles.
streaming of music, digital availability of music, which is where we are now with the film industry. I'm sorry, I am not trying to push people out of jobs by pushing this narrative that theaters are in trouble, but they are. But the simple fact that when I went to see Puss in Boots, which I loved seeing it in theaters, I loved the experience, but on the way home, when my kids said, "Oh man, this is cool. Look, we need to get this and download it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "It's available now." I'm like, whoa. We went to see this in theaters and it's available right now. Oh, we could have saved this. We could have saved this trip to the movie.
But how many people saw you brought up Black Panther? We've seen almost everybody I knew seen Black Panther and saw it multiple times in the theater. And even Wakanda Forever, it may not have had the same enthusiasm, but a lot of people still seen it, even if it's just one time. So that's why I can't.
Theaters.
I saw it 3 times. So It's just, my point is, I just can't understand the numbers.
And
it's just not.
Avatar: Way of Water, for it to have surpassed Top Gun in a shorter window, in a shorter amount of time, it passed Top Gun, which had the highest word of mouth push than any film that came out the entire year. And Top Gun Maverick was a phenomenal film. So you have a film that's really, really good and has insane word of mouth and is not half your life long. You can understand why that film over time hit the marks that it did, because every week the numbers went up. This Avatar movie, for it to have the type of sales that it does, and I look online, I'm like saying like, well, let me see what's in theaters this week. Oh, nothing. I've checked the Avatar theaters, and I'm just talking just my neck of the woods, but I'm talking in this Burbank theater that I look at, and when I see that there are not packed theaters for Avatar, for the premiere screening that you would need to see it, according to everyone who's watched it, where you got to see it on the super IMAX laser, otherwise it's going to look like craziness if you watch in 2D. For all those showings to be as empty as they are, this is, to Mo's point, and as anyone who's ever worked in the music industry knows, when you want your artist to succeed, when you cannot take that L, Someone like Diddy, who really pushed that label to make sure that that damn Godzilla single was going to go, even though that single was absolute trash. They made sure that single went #1. No one played it on radio. No one would that was driving around in their car begging Godzilla. No one was doing that. All right. But it still went #1. We know how the industry works. We know, especially when you have someone like a James Cameron who has had his first Avatar film in theaters basically since the last one came out. It's kept coming out. They keep pushing it. It came out right before this new one to remind people. They did that because why? Because no one knew or cared about Avatar. Even when they re-released Avatar, the first one, the sales for that weekend were like, I think it hit 4 million. 4 million domestic and international. So you don't go from 4 million or so on your re-release to all of a sudden some 100 plus million on your opening weekend. Nah, homie.
No one was checking for this movie. That's what it comes down to. And I remain, you don't have a $2 billion movie on the strength of just foreign international audiences and not include the United States and China as being big variables in that equation. This is a foreign language movie for much of the world.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is a worldwide hit, but not where it was made. No.
Right.
No.
Right. That's just, look, there's shenanigans, and we live in a day and age where somehow this is going to be released. This information of wrongdoing behind the scenes. When that happens, it is going to be a major blow to just trusting movie theaters and the whole like. I'm sorry, but if the entirety of the 2022 movie theatrical year was comprised, I'd say some 70% of the box office draw, if not 80% of the box office draw, were all superhero or action related films. And here's the thing. And you're talking some films that were good. You had a couple that were out of control, fantastic. But the films that did good had modest box office draws. You had none of y'all liked it, but Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness was the highest grossing MCU film and one of their biggest projects in a midget. It just was.
It would have made
because of
$2
the hype.
billion if it was released in China.
It would have, right?
4 billion, sorry.
So I get that Marvel didn't get where they were supposed to go with any of their films because they didn't have that release in China. But you have a film released by essentially the same company. Remember, this is the same company, the same Disney house that releases Avatar, but Avatar gets that nod. I don't know. That doesn't match up.
But Wakanda Forever is now the first movie that has a Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Golden Globe Award. I'm tired of hearing
Those are Golden Globes. I have my issues with the Golden Globes. So, yeah.
Well, I don't care. I'm all for but I care about Angela Bassett.
No,
And
I
she
do
deserved
too.
it.
And she did.
She did.
I'm just saying it's the Golden Globes. That's all.
Speaking of Angela Bassett, I took my mom and my aunt to go see Wakanda Forever, and I can't remember the last time I saw my mom so upset. Spoiler alert: when Angela Bassett died. You know how like
did she lose it?
You know how your mama would get mad, but she's in public, so she can't smack you. She was just like. She was mad.
So if Ryan Coogler was in the theater, he would have caught one.
She was mad. Twala, I'm telling you, my mom would get mad often. She was mad.
But that speech alone in the throne room, I was like, give her the award.
That was Oscar worthy.
That really
my mom was all about Angela Bassett. She was like, "Ooh, I like this." And then when she died, she was like, "This motherfucker." And my mom doesn't even cuss.
Very quickly, want to shout out the chat. Is it Destinamu Gaming?
Oh,
Destinamu.
Destinamu says,
my viewers.
Yes, viewers. I thought Avatar: The Way of Water was really good.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
But here's the question. Did you see it multiple times?
Mm.
Because I doubt that. I doubt you gave away
I
6 or
cannot
9
sit
hours
4
of your life.
hours.
Okay,
I can't do
Destinamu
another 4
says,
hours.
yeah, saw it multiple times. How many times did you see it, Destinamu?
I hope he saw it once for me because I still have not seen it.
I haven't seen it
I haven't
yet.
seen it once.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on the number. But just putting that out there.
No doubt. Also shout
Well,
out
I
to
have a life.
Sylvia.
I can't do that multiple times.
Who else is in the chat? Sylvia, Stan, Frankie, Shaka.
She just saw
Barack,
it once. Exactly my
Jackie.
point.
Uh-huh.
Because who has 8 hours of their life to give?
Yep.
That's
what?
That is a day of work. You see it twice. That is a day of work.
No, it got
And
that
they ain't
time.
paying you.
Yeah, I ain't
How you
clocking in
pronounce
for that
this?
shit.
Is who else is this? Lita, or Lata? Okay, we're gonna go with Lita. All right.
Anyway, I'm
All
just
right.
saying that I hope Angela Bassett gets the Oscar. She deserves
too.
it. She's
So far,
overdue.
it's
She
looking that
deserves
way.
it. She deserves it.
It's looking that way.
I'll give it to Phase 4. They weren't the best films, but the actors brought their A game. You had a
I can
lot
agree
of
with that. Yeah.
You had a lot of good actors bring their A game for Phase 4. The films weren't that great.
Because it was all emotions, right? It was all about trying to get to their pain and tap their.
Like again, like I may not have been a fan of Shang-Chi, but I really did like Simu Lee as Shang-Chi. I thought he was a great cast for it. I thought that homeboy that played what's the name? The dad. I thought he was great too. I like the casting and I like
the aunt, right? The aunt, she finally got her Golden Globe and told them to stop the music.
I didn't really care for.
Give me my time.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of hers. But I thought that the only thing I had against Shang-Chi was like you have two comedy characters. You have Trevor and you have Awkwafina. I mean, you don't need two. Just give me one.
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean,
it's an enjoyable
for me. It was more for like with what Anthony was saying. I think that the performances from all of the actors in the films, and even the performances on the Disney Plus shows, I think a lot of the people they really brought. They were like, look, we're going to try to bring some real high caliber acting to some of these. Some of the storylines were some big misses, but for how we ended the phase with Wakanda Forever, I think that was a beautiful way to end that phase of the films. And so far, looking at where we're going, kicking it off, and they're not waiting. They look like they're kicking it off major. They're saying that Ant-Man,
is that a pun intended with Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, but the thing is that you can no longer say because of this phase that the films are just, toss arounds and however all the critics are making, all these highfalutin people want to say that these aren't real films. You can't do that, especially now that they're actually getting the awards too for good acting.
Yes. It's not just special effects.
No,
because that's what it's always been. It's been costume, special effects, cinematography, CGI stuff like that. Right. But you're right, Liz. Now we're getting into acting. Real acting where you're like, if you deny this performance, throw your whole fucking award show away, because that was for me. And admittedly, I haven't seen a lot of films, over the course of last year, but that was still one of the best performances I've seen in a film in a long time, period. Not a superhero film. I felt that. I felt every word that came out of Angela Bassett. And so that's why I think for me, she made that performance for me that made the film. I think I saw multiple so I could watch that moment.
Dude, she was the anchor of that film. She was the anchor.
Yeah, she was the anchor. She really was. She deserves every accolade that she got because Tenoch Huerta, I loved him as Namor. I thought his performance was great. Great introduction.
He's good.
I liked I thought that from what I was expecting from Letitia, I thought I was ready to not like Letitia, but I wasn't mad at her performance. And I said, okay, good, this is good. But the star of that film from beginning to end was Angela Bassett. That's her performance, even bringing it back to show them who you are, the way they changed and the way she flipped. I was just like, dude, like even to the end, you brought you brought an acting class throughout this entire film, and so that's why
I know she knocked it out of the park because my mom, who's not like a huge fan of this, was sucked in.
Right.
So when you get people that are not like on the outside, they're just casual viewers, you get those, that's when you know you've done something correct.
Yeah. True that. To the start of this new phase, we're going to kick off the new year, with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Everyone, for the first trailer with Ant-Man and the Wasp, everyone was kind of wide-eyed, like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. But then you see the second trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp, and everyone is like, oh shit. Like, because you see Jonathan Majors going majors on everyone, and it's just like, my guy, this is going to be, as they're saying, as consequential a film for the future of the MCU as Captain America Winter Soldier. That's what Marvel is saying.
Can we say that Jonathan Majors, though, is just doing the darn thing right now when it comes to film back to back, because he got Creed 2 coming up.
Yep.
Oh, the Creed 3 plus this one, and they coming back to back. It's just amazing. And he had that other movie in November.
He's doing it. I mean, but you look at this film and where they're saying, because if you're starting off the next phase of your films leading up to all the way through, phase 6, showing you the big bad up front, showing you the individual that all the way to 2026 they're going to be dealing with, and how this film is truly taking you into a world that you've never seen before. With the second trailer, we got the first look at MODOK, who now we know MODOK is going to be Corey Stoll, who was Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man 1. They're bringing that all the way back. And now when you saw that and you see the face of the character, you see what's happening. Now I'm like, yes, if remember when he got all shrunk up in the end of that first one, and we thought he popped or whatever, but it's like, no, he shrunk down into the microverse or wherever that. And hey, dude, now he just got the big head.
But he shrunk and got tased by the little thing,
Yes, look, he's in the zone now. That's where he's at now. Now he's in the zone, and he got the big head.
I'm just saying. I didn't know animals. I didn't know the insects could survive once they get into the little blue light.
Yes, I don't know. They look. But we'll see. We'll see. To me, at least, I understand the design of MODOK now. At first, I was tripping off of the design of MODOK, but now seeing who MODOK is, now I'm like, oh, all right. So if Homeboy is going to be MODOK, that would be interesting. He's working with, Kang, and MODOK always has had plans within plans of his own. So he'll probably towards the end become some type of foil to Kang's plans. But Ryan, before we even started the show, you said you got questions. You saw the trailer and you got questions, man.
So look, this isn't a knock against the movie. Okay, I'm excited, but I'm curious as to why this movie's not more connected with Loki. I mean, it might happen in the movie because the trailer doesn't show everything.
Right.
They're making it seem like Cassie is the cause of all of this. My question is, where was Kane all this time? Was Kane always in that universe? I don't know. I'm sure. Once again, I'm sure this will all be explained. I'm sure this will all be explained.
But in the trailer, her
Janet, the mom,
Janet, the mom, seems as if she already knew him.
Yeah, exactly.
So they must have had a connect. Like there must have been an interaction.
But
so he's been in the background for a while.
But in Loki, they made it seem like that those Kangs were gone, and when what happened at the end of Loki, the multiverse was all over the place.
No. Remember the one that knows all, or wherever his name.
He who remains.
Remember, he remains. He was the one that was keeping them all at bay.
Exactly.
And he said, if you kill me, then I can't keep them at bay anymore.
Yes.
And they're coming for you.
So, but like I said, good point. But they make it seem like it's Cassie's fault that Kang is here. And also, the mother acts like she's always knew. She knows who Kang is. Well,
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Because again, like to Liz's point, in that trailer, the first trailer, she's like, whoa, because call it Cassie being, a genius, and she's curious and all that. She just wants to know more, and she blah, 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 blah. So she gets this idea to create this thing. And on the surface, yeah, I'm sure she thought this was a great idea. But you see the instant Janet found out what was happening, she said, "You're calling who? Hang up that damn phone." She said, "Hang up that damn phone," and it was too late. They got sucked in.
It doesn't line up with Loki.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. With Loki, all we know is there are worse kings. Yes. There are worse kings coming.
They weren't around until what happened in Loki. So how did the mother know?
No. No. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it, Ryan. They were around. They were always there. Yeah. The only reason that they weren't wreaking havoc on the world and that the worst king hadn't come and set forth is because of He Who Remains. They were always there. So it's basically he's got the key and he's got the door locked, keeping all of the other kings at bay. Not that they didn't exist. They were always there. There were always multiple versions of him. He was like, I'm the one that you don't have to worry about. There's a king out there that is worse than anything you could ever imagine. And the only reason he is not able to do anything is because of me. Not that he didn't exist.
So that king was always in that universe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. All of the kings have always existed.
That universe is separated from our MCU. So what happens in there or happens outside, they happen separately.
I think it's still in the MCU. I don't think it's separated.
Separate from the world we know.
From the world
timeline.
Okay,
yeah. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. So that's its own universe. So whatever happens down there only happens down there.
I just want to see more of a connection with Loki. That's one of my issues.
We probably will.
Yeah, we probably will.
In Loki too.
Yeah, we probably will.
That's coming out.
One of my other issues, it's just a minor issue. I love No Way Home, but they made it seem like I would like to have seen a connection with Loki with No Way Home. Why, the spell that Doctor Strange casted went all screwy because the multiverse is all over the place. Because when the end of Loki, the multiverse is fucking spaghetti, like Mr. Fantastic. So,
Ryan,
I have a lot of questions.
No, you're right. And if they would have done all of those series together, series and movies together, where Loki was directly connected, not tangentially connected, but directly connected to Spider-Man No Way Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home was directly connected in all ways to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, then we would have had a cohesive multiverse. We never got that.
Yes.
And I do believe that Loki 2 and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania will be connected on some level, but it probably won't have all the connection that I think that we're looking for.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go back and connect to No Way Home or hell, even Multiverse of Madness, as they're saying that this is those series, even talking even with what they introduced in Ms. Marvel and the potentiality of there being in a whole nother universe, all of these different things, I'm gonna hope against hope that it all comes together, but they're saying that it begins now. Like they were introducing us to the concepts of the multiverse, even with What If introduced us to the concept of the multiverse. Feige had said long ago, like, we're taking the steps to introduce our watchers, people who aren't, our viewers, and people who aren't comic book fans, but people who are fans of the movies. We were taking our time to introduce them to the concept of the multiverse before throwing them into the lion's den and saying, hey, here you go. Even though we know we have a very smart audience, we want to make sure that they are along for the ride and they know what's happening. So if it kicks off with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I'm sure they'll go back and pick some things up. If they went back and they picked up Homeboy who was Yellow Jacket, that means that they know they can go back and pick stuff up. Nothing is off the table. I don't think anything is off the table when it comes to the MCU, as opposed to, say, the DCU and their new split universe, because we know that James Gunn and Peter, what's his last name, are starting up
Whatever.
the DCU. They've got plans within plans to create synergy between film and television and video games and everything. Hooray. We hope for the best. We truly hope for the best. But then there's bullshittery like the fact that today Matt Reeves is announcing that there are going to actually be two separate and distinct universes coming from DC. One headed up by James Gunn and Peter what's his name, where they're going to have all the main films, the James Gunn universe, I guess, the DCU. But then you're also going to have a Batverse. And the Batverse is going to spin out of the Batman, where you will have the Batman 2. You will have the Penguin. You will have Arkham Asylum, a potential Catwoman solo film, and all of these films that will come from the Batverse. And he's literally saying they're going to be two separate studios. I'm going to be doing Batman and Batman related films that are similar in style to the Batman films that will be more real based. Huh? Oh, the CW is gone. That's gone. The CW is sold, and all those things are gone.
I don't know, man, because they're doing Gotham Knights.
No,
So-
this is the last. This is the final season for the Flash. Gotham Knights has one season, it's kind of like they're doing it to the end.
I'm still stuck that they're really going to put this Flash movie out.
Right?
Yeah. I won't be watching it, so.
What's the point in watching it? None of it's going to matter anymore in the future.
I'm not going to support that actor, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, all these films that are coming out, Shazam, The Flash, and Blue Beetle, those are, you got to keep the lights on. You got to keep the lights on.
The thing that makes me upset about The Flash, right, is that this is perpetuating the belief that Hollywood will protect sexual offenders. I mean, we just had a whole hashtag We Too movement, or she, we too, we had all that to get rid of. We just had a movie that came out the end of last year talking about She Said, which was the whole issue that took down Harvey Weinstein, who just had another trial. Like, I just can't understand how people will argue me down about Woody Allen.
They will. No, and they will.
Still.
And this is, to your point, how Hollywood protects its own, because now you have had them being Ezra Miller, plead guilty and, get a 80 to 90 day jail sentence, dismissed, and have to pay some $500 in fines. That's down from a possible 25 years. So how do you go from 25 years for the charge of home invasion or burglary and whatever else happened in that household to 90 days served and $500, if not for Warner Brothers stepping in and saying, we got this, because we've already sunk gobs of money into this film.
He's not that good of an actor that you're going to throw.
They are not that much of a star. They haven't even proven themselves yet.
This is, no offense, but this is not Kevin Spacey, right? They could have, where he actually had a proven success record. This is home dude that could be dumped and nobody would notice.
Now, it's they and them, not he and home.
Okay,
dude.
Whatever.
I'm not touching that one.
Look, the simple fact that they being Warner Brothers right now, Warner Brothers Discovery, this is still not James Gunn's DCU. This is still Warner Brothers, and this is under the guidance of homeboy who your boy Cyborg had such an issue with. The dude who was in charge.
Ray Fisher. Yes.
Ray Fisher had the issue with the dude who was in charge. No, not Joss Whedon. The executive who
Hamada?
Hamada, yes. Walter Hamada. Yeah, this is under Hamada, who is, he's on his way out the door. And Hamada is the one who's, I guess, signed the deal protecting these final films and allowing them to come out. He's like, guys, we got to keep the lights on. It's a long. James Gunn hasn't even pulled his camera out of its case yet to start filming his first film for this studio. What are we gonna do? They're like, dude, we got Shazam ready to go. Flash is ready to go. We've got this Gotham Knights, and we got the Flash final season. What? So let's get these things going. Let's kind of wrap it all up. CW is going away. CW was purchased. All those series are going away. Let's just have some fun on the way out the door.
I guess.
I mean,
you
that's
see what
just
Barack
what it is.
said, Ezra. You see what Barack said? He said Ezra must know all the bodies are buried. He's Kane's variant.
I can believe that. I can believe that. Or their manager does. Ezra could have a manager that has a lot of inside information that says you're not going to get rid of them. I promise you that, because then everyone's going to know what you did with who and how it went down, because there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening behind the scenes within that company. A lot. I'm sure it wasn't just Joss Whedon and him being an ass. I'm sure if he was protected, because Joss Whedon, he wasn't an ass out the gate, right? Or even if he was, let's just say he is an ass out the gate, right? We didn't find out about it till after damn near the film was coming out. So that means that someone was protecting Joss Whedon, and whoever that executive is up high, they also are dirty. If you're protecting someone dirty, you're dirty, right? If you're protecting Joss Whedon, who from all accounts is a filth bag of just shititude, well, then that means that you're the toilet bowl. That was shit on. So whatever. There's that. Has anyone watched The Bad Batch yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Okay.
I've caught all the first 3 so far.
All right. Bad Batch is the shit. Bad Batch is quite possibly the only thing that's dope series wise on Disney Plus, because Willow and that damn
National Treasure.
Woke, I mean, they might as well call it
to tell you.
Instead of National Treasure, call it Book of Wokeness, because every episode is some type of nod to some super. I mean, it's like the last episode, there was a scene when I guess the handsome white lead was thought to have betrayed them. All right. And she goes to confront him. I found out that you betrayed us or whatever. And he's like, all this time, I knew it was going to be like this because treasures corrupt people. He storms off, whatever. She goes to apologize. All right. She goes to apologize after she finds out that he did not turn on them. And he says, you wouldn't understand what it's like to be accused. And I said, oh, here we go. And all of a sudden, don't you know, I grew up in a world where anytime something was stolen at school, they looked at me, the girl with the Spanish last name. And I'm like, oh, what are we doing? You don't have to make every episode some type of super conscious point to something, dude. You don't have to have the black girl who has the spunky black girl, mind you, who has to be reminded when she goes to a banquet full of wealthy white businessmen to be on her best behavior, to not challenge them or challenge the status quo. But then she can't help it. She gets in there and she's like, she has to raise her fist and have the Sister Soldier moment. Because I'm a completist. I'm watching it because I'm a completist.
I thought it was too, but I stopped that shit after watching Willow for like the first 5 episodes. I was like, nah. I'm done. I ain't
I've stopped watching National Treasure after 1.5. Like I got after the homeboy who said they were in college with rolls up in an Audi. It turns out he's a lawyer, and main girl's still not legal.
She's not legal. Like you're not tapping into your best friend since you were children, right?
Yeah. And then she goes to get a job as a waitress, and he says you need waiting experience. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry. It's hard. It's hard.
It is not an easy watch.
That's one way of putting it. That's one way of putting it. A hard watch.
And Willow.
And
they renewed it for a season 2.
Why?
I just was.
Maybe it's because I kept watching it. I don't know. Me and Liz watched it to the end, so maybe they're like, "Well, look, if Twala and Liz are gonna watch this shit, then we'll keep it going."
I am so mad. I mean, it is just the most frustrating show to watch, and and the acting is so bad that it's just
it's dime store acting. Acting. And yes, that's what I was looking for, Barack. Fake wokeness, because it's not really quote unquote woke. It is fake wokeness. It's like the stuff that you see in fucking magazines or something.
yes.
Yeah, no,
it's getting a season 2.
There's been a lot of subpar content that has come out in 2022. I mean, we can say that for sure, that 2022 has been just replete with shit that's been a lot of stuff. Some good stuff. There's some good stuff, but yeah.
And I hope that they don't renew National Treasure. Please do not renew National Treasure.
It probably will.
It needs to be a movie, and it needs to have Nick Cage back in.
Well, no, okay, but Anthony,
they're making part 4.
They are. James
part 3.
Bruckheimer has said they're doing it.
Oh, 3, my bad.
Yeah, Bruckheimer has said they're doing it, and Nick Cage, while promoting the new vampire film,
Renfield.
He said, I've talked to Bruckheimer, and we're all in. Hey, Renfield,
Liz, I'm right there with you. I want to see that one too.
Yes, Renfield looks dope.
Because it's Cage and what's his face, Beast, right?
Yeah, Beast. Yep. I'm with it. I'm absolutely with that one. But yeah, shit. It is absolutely phenomenal. One, to be back. Everyone tuning in, everyone on the live feed once again. Saturday nights, round about 8ish. Gonna be around 8.
CP time.
And that's when we're gonna be getting it in.
Yeah.
So tell all your nerdy friends that the legendary roundtable is back in full effect. We are gonna have when it hits, we're gonna have a get together. We're all gonna join in and watch Cocaine Bear.
Yeah,
Cocaine Bear is one of the first super big ones that's coming that we got to see. Absolutely. Quantum Mania is coming, so
Megan,
hopefully this is a good year. hopefully we'll have plenty to talk about.
I mean, we're starting off with the Cocaine
and
Bear,
Creed 3.
Cocaine.
That's what I'm saying. We got some stuff. We
have the Marvels coming.
Look, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot. I'm not so sure about Time Bandits.
The Marvels.
It's the Marvels.
It's not singing group, but it's okay. I knew what you were saying. I knew what you were saying, Liz. I knew what you were saying.
I like
it does sound better though.
It sounds better.
It does sound better. I'll give you.
Sound like a singing group. And now coming
to
the
that's
stage.
What they said in Captain Marvel. And
that's the Marvelettes.
Name is he said
Marvelettes.
The Marvels.
That's true.
I know Liz isn't going to see it, but Wendy and Peter are coming. Your boy Zack Snyder.
Not seeing
his Star Wars film is coming this year. Rebel Moon. Craven the Hunter.
I'm gonna see that, but he's saying he's talking about another
Wait, are
Peter
you talking
Pan
about
movie. I am not
the
watching
Jude Law one?
Peter Pan movie.
Remember the Jude Law Star Wars story?
Yeah. No. That is an actual Star Wars series. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Rebel Moon is a film that Zack Snyder is making when he was told that they didn't want him to do a Star Wars film. He was trying to do Star Wars. They were like, nah, we're okay. And he said, okay, cool. I'll take my story. I'm gonna change the name of it, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, you're not gonna stop me from making this movie. So instead of it being a story for Star Wars, he is making his own thing, and it's called Rebel Moon.
With Ray Fisher, by the way.
With Ray Fisher.
All I know
yes.
is that all I know is that all these people, all these streaming services are charging more money now, and they need to, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix. I'm just letting y'all know y'all need to get it together, and especially Disney Plus. You can't give us no half-ass stuff.
Yeah.
like you've been doing, and then give us a rate increase. And HBO, y'all need to get it together. So it's an advocate for Apple TV Plus. At least it's the only one under $10.
Oh, Liz. I love it.
And
I love it.
and you get decent content.
I did like Defending Jacob, so I'll give you that much.
All right.
It's good show.
All right.
Good shows.
Well, shit, there it is.
For
it has
$6?
been it has been a stone groove. I'm sorry that Tom couldn't make it to join us. But before we get out of here, I'm curious because I am running out of stuff to watch. McBain, is there anything that you're checking out on TV?
2 things. 1, Jack Ryan. 2, The Last of Us.
Oh, that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Have you heard good things about it?
I've heard good things, but I'm still hopefully optimistic. The Last of Us crowd's very toxic. Okay, so if they screw this shit up, the HBO will hear about it. So we'll wait and see.
Well,
Tomorrow, I'm all about it.
Y'all paying $15.99.
No, see,
was it
y'all
15 or 16?
I ain't paying shit.
Password sharing.
Don't get yourself in trouble. Anthony, what are you watching?
It's not watching anything quite yet, but I'm waiting for Night Court.
Boom.
Me too.
Okay.
I was gonna check it out. Hopes ain't high.
Dude, you must be also waiting for the Roadhouse remake. If you're waiting for Night Court.
Bring back that hillbilly Deathclaw. I'm talking about.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
Send him home.
Mo,
what you checking out?
I'm gonna check out Bad Batch tonight. Since I'm already behind, I can watch a few episodes.
It's only
Finished
3.
Jack Ryan last week. Enjoyed it. Wasn't great, but it was fine for what it was. I thought Wendell Pierce was excellent in it. And that's about it. I don't know if anything. I'm just waiting for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania at this point. And The Last of Us, I'll start watching tomorrow.
Last of Us, yes. Definitely Last of Us tomorrow, since I am paying that $15. Liz, what you checking out?
Well, The Hunters is back for the second and final season on Amazon Prime. Cannot wait. I've already actually almost done with it because I was just stunned that it came back. And then finally, on Apple TV Plus, the last series of Servant. We're supposed to finally figure out what the heck is happening. And so
who that did what now?
Is that M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, and we're supposed to finally figure out what the heck is happening with all these seasons later. We're supposed to figure out, the fake baby. So
okay. As much as you ride for them, I haven't been able to get up off that $6. And now HBO took another $1 from me. So I don't know, man. It's hard times in the city. It is hard times in the city. All right, y'all. Hey, look,
you can cancel HBO.
Yeah, well, look, I will.
And get on the Apple TV Plus train.
I need to watch. I need to get Last of Us, and I actually got to watch his Dark Materials. But really and truly, I spend most of my time on Crunchyroll, checking out anime right now. My Hero Academia is back, and it is some of the most gut-wrenchingly good anime I have ever seen. It is by far one of the best series to ever be created, and they're coming back this season. Like, every episode is edge of your seat. It's so much grief and over the top drama wrapped into this story about kids who are trying to become the next generation of superheroes. And just when it hits the fan in this series, it hits the fan. One Piece is starting to pick up. They're trying to get someplace with One Piece, Soul Eater. There's so many good shows. Spy X Family, Demon Slayer is about to be coming back, so I'm stuck on Crunchyroll. And then I make my way over. Like I watched Bad Batch, thinking to myself, okay, let me hurry up and get through Bad Batch because I got to get back to my anime. But Bad Batch is really, really good. I torture myself with the worst bamboo in the fingernail torture to watch things like Willow and the fake. I need to use my cell phone to find out treasure Hunter show, The National Treasure. When you got kids who don't know shit and they keep pulling out their cell phones to figure stuff out, that's not what this series was supposed to be about. Okay, so whatever with that, it's whack. But
it's torture.
So for me, it's Crunchyroll. But hopefully next week we will have some fantastical, magnificent things to report on. And with that, Anthony, my good man, take us out, good sir.
Good news, everybody.
McBain.
Mike Coulter, you can't fool me. I know you coming back as Luke Cage, baby. I know you coming back.
Mo Kelly.
Multiverse.
Dr. Liz.
I'm going to take this moment to say 4 years ago, I was in South Carolina and reached out to you all and was like, I need to be on the show, tracked you guys down. As soon as you heard on the radio and said, I need a girl on this show. And I was like, that girl is me. So I am excited to have known you all for 4 years.
Amen, sis. Amen. You have been a fantastic addition to the crew. Love you. I'm glad that you took it on. I look, all praise to you, Liz, for dealing with us and our straight dickheadery. Like you put up with it better than anyone. And when we told you got to have thick skin to roll with us, you were like, I do. And you have proven that, because we give you the business, Liz. But it is all in love. It is all in love. I love you like blood. And with that, Excelsior. Yeah, man. Yeah.